would you think if I told you there was a way in your retirement to only have wins? Imagine if your favorite team only ever won. Now, would it not be quite as exciting? Yes, but would it still be fantastic? Of course it would. We all want to win every single time. Well, let's look at some ways where you can know that you will always win in your game of retirement. We're going to discuss how we can do that. First, if you don't already have a copy of my book, Safe Money Retirement, Your Game Plan for Success, it will explain exactly what we're about to talk about and what you hear me talk about every single week, how these products work, why I do what I do, and we will send you a copy absolutely free, no obligation. Just log on our brand new website, safemoneyretirement.com, and request your book there, or give us a call, 833-413-SAFE. Now, like I said, wouldn't it be great if your favorite sports team always won? It would be. Now, it might take a little bit of the excitement out of the games for sure, but it sure would be great if you knew when you went to a game your team was going to win. Is that even possible in retirement? Is it possible to know that no matter what you do, all you're going to have is wins? Is it possible to be on an elevator that only goes up, never goes back down? Well, I'm here to tell you it is possible. And you've heard me talk about these products before. So no matter which way you go with Safe Money Retirement, whether it's an income plan or it's a growth plan, only thing that you're going to get are wins. Now, let me explain why. Let's look at an income plan first. So with an income plan, you are putting a set amount of money in, a lump sum, or you could add to it over time. It depends on how we fund it. But you are putting money with a top-rated life insurance company, and they are going to pay you a guaranteed income based upon when you turn that on. Well, that's a huge win because that's guaranteed income you can never outlive. And your spouse can't ever outlive it if we set it up properly as well. That's a huge win. That's taking rid of all of the stress of where's the money going to come from for the bills and where's the money going to come from for this or that or whatever. And Social Security is only cutting 40%. And oh my gosh, what are we going to do if Social Security gets cut? This is going to allow you to have a huge win in your retirement because you will know you have enough income. It's going to bring that happiness that you want in retirement. It's going to relieve the stress that you certainly don't need as you get up into the retirement ages, and allow you to have a huge win in the income portion of your retirement. What about growth? Well, what if you could only win? Again, in some of these products, you have guaranteed growth that grows at a guaranteed set rate for a set number of years. Well, obviously that's a win. They work very similarly to a CD. Those products are called MYGAs, or multi-year guaranteed annuities. They work very similar to a CD. They typically just have a little bit higher rates than CDs do. Those are one thing. So that's always a win because that's always gains with no losses and no fees. But even beyond that, there are plans out there that allow you to choose between fixed and market indexed every year based on what's going on in the world and how you want your money to grow for that next year. So it allows you to diversify annually, which that's a win. So let's go ahead and look at the absolute worst case scenario. Let's say you think the market's going to be way up the next 12 months, and let's just say you put everything, you went all in on the S&P 500. Okay, great. Let's say you were wrong and the S&P 500 goes down. Well, because what I'm talking about with Safe Money Retirement is a fixed product, there's no chances for losses. So even if the S&P goes down, the absolute worst thing that would happen is you stay right where you're at. If you had 100,000 in that account, the next year, you're going to have 100,000 in that account. You're not going to go down a penny. That's a huge win. Again, it's like being on an elevator that sometimes it may stay at the same floor for a while, but it's never going to go back down. That's a huge win. If you knew that everything that you've saved your entire life for, we can have it grow based on how you want it to grow, or we can have it pay you an income. And in either case, there is absolutely 0% chances for losses based on anything happening in the market. That is a huge win for you. That's a huge win for your family. That's a huge win for your legacy, your descendants. That's a huge win for everybody because you know that you're going to have the income that you need, and you know that you don't have to worry about losses if and when that next major market event happens. We know that's coming. It always has. Look at the history. It goes up, it goes down. It goes up, it goes down. Well, we know where we are right now. We're historically, we're really high. We're almost as high as it's ever been. And in some cases, we're higher than it's ever been, depending on the stock or the index you're looking at. Well, when it goes up, guess what the next thing is? I don't even need to say it. You need to make sure you're prepared so you're only getting wins, especially when you're close to retirement. Something you've heard me talk about before called your time horizon. If you're in your 20s or 30s or maybe even 40s, if you have a major market event that knocks you out with 50%, like happened in 02, 03, 04, and then again in 08 and 09, you've got plenty of time to recover. You've still got 20, 30, 40 years until retirement. You can probably recover. You'll probably be fine. If you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and you lose 50%, now we've got a problem. What we need to do is prevent that problem, prevent those losses, and make sure you've only got wins in your retirement accounts. And again, how do we do that? We make sure that we move your at-risk money. Money is that right now is at risk if there is a major market event that you would lose a significant portion of it, because if it's all just in the market, it's all at risk. So moving that money, at least a good portion of it, out of that and into something that has no chances for losses. That the absolute worst thing, I guess you could say it's not a win, it's a tie, but you would stay the exact same. That's worst case scenario for a year. Any year that the market's up, you get a portion of those gains locked in. That now becomes your new floor, and now you can't go below that. Just like an elevator, it may go up, but it's never going to go back down. That's how these fixed products work. So you need to be in a position where you will only have wins in your retirement for happiness, for longevity, and to get rid of all of the multiple risks that come along with retirement. Longevity risk, inflation risk, sequence of returns risk, I could name a bunch of them. You need to totally put all of those behind you and know that everything that you do is only going to bring you wins and bring you happiness in your game of retirement.
The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Surrender charges apply to base contracts. Optional lifetime income benefit riders are used to calculate lifetime payments only and are not available for cash surrender or in a death benefit unless specified in the annuity contract. Fees may apply. Guarantees are based on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the insurance company. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified and licensed professional. Obviously, by calling us now, you are just taking the first step towards protecting your retirement. It's important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Rates and returns mentioned on this program are subject to change without notice.